Hello, back to the channel, back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel and to our third part of playing Empty Faces the Woods. Yeah, because I don't like playing alone and no one wants to play with me. So I'm roping anyone who is watching this to play with me. Where did I put my notebook? Ha! Found it. I've also sharpened my pencil and I found my pen. My current favorite pen. So we are ready to get started on number 3. So what was in this one again? It's been a little while. Oh yeah, the one with the candle. That's right. It's been a while since I played last time, but the black candle. So if I remember correctly, I was starting to feel like Grace is overreaching a little bit. She's like being a little bit demanding, I feel. And maybe that's just the gameplay, but you know, it's what it is. Is that low enough? I mean, you can see my mushroom probably. Yes, I think that's better. All right, so that's from this. Yes. I forgot there are beads. There are beads. Oh dear, they were so small. The wooden beads. Oh dear. Save the beads. There's another one, the 3. Oh, hello. There we go. Alright, so The Woods, episode number 3. Letter from Grace, scanned diary pages, shadow vista, black candle, twine, beads, letter from Kayla, journey to the mountaintop, doctor's memo, and door rubbing. Excuse me a moment, I want to try and find. I'm pretty certain there were 3 beads. Well, if so, I potentially have lost one of them. That will just have to be it then. Let's see, should we... Yeah, you know what? Talking about Grace, let's start with her letter. Dear stranger, when I look to the dawning day, I see only the horizon lost in darkness that is neither shadow nor night. Yes, that's called the darkness before the dawn. For generations, this loathsome lightlessness has waited to fulfill its purpose, and now it is alive with power, growing stronger with each passing day. It bends even the brightest light, its cold touch fracturing what once was whole. Here the prism I sent may disclose yet more disruption lurking in plain sight. Always I feel it pressing at the edges of my protections, eager to corrupt all that I hold dear. Unchecked, it will soon overrun every unhappy creature in its path. A grave error have I made, I fear, in appealing to you. No penance will be great enough to absolve me if the terror we face were to overpower you as it has done my dear Isabella. Your distance, I hoped, would protect you, but mere miles alone may not suffice. Grace, honey, I'm in Iceland. Iceland is its own genius lucky, so... For myself, I know the threat is closer every day. Just this morning, I woke to find a message carved into my door. I got distracted, I'm sorry. The flag thing that I still haven't checked. I'm pretty certain these are like flags. I am so certain of it. Alright, carved into my door. And though I cannot comprehend its words, I know it signifies some malice that has set its sight on me. More and more darkness surrounds us. Yes, yet I must continue to admit this evil into my own home, for it still has its uses. My blood boils to see a man I once trusted tend to my granddaughter with such careful ministrations, when I know what wickedness lurks within him. But I cannot send him away, and the time is not ripe yet to destroy the thing inside him. All I can do now is to protect those I love as best I can, and have faith we can withstand what is to come. You must guard yourself against the dangers that lie ahead. Be vigilant. Let the old wisdom guide you and keep you. In my grandmother's day, we crushed iron above the door to shield our home. We do that too. It's called putting an a horseshoe, iron horseshoe above our door. But then it's, culture difference where you have the ends pointing up to maintain the luck, or how the points pointing down to distribute the luck to everyone who passes through the door. Anyway, digression. Those were days before the lightning spread, when iron alone was enough. These days occasion stronger measures. Long ago, I showed Isabella how to knot a length of twine around her wrist to repel those forces that would do her harm. But there was still so much she had yet to learn. If I had time to teach her better, perhaps she would not be as strange from her spirit as she is now. I beg you, do not make the same mistake she did. Plain twine is the simplest charm I can provide, and the strongest too. With each knot your fingers form, speak your will, and evoke its strength to protect you. Tie it with these wooden beads near the entrance to your home. I have anointed the twine with essence of rosemary. Oh, that's the envelope. With essence of rosemary to make the spell stay fast. I have one more talisman to offer you. The pattern for the Shadow Vista was given to me by Mother, who received it from her mother before her. It comforted her as a child, as it did my daughter and Isabella too, when she came to live with me. How many countless hours have I spent watching its shapes shift upon the walls? It has always kept the darkness at bay for me, but now I suspect you have more need of it than I do. The candle I've enclosed will bring its shape to life. Like you did when I first encountered you in the dreamscape, I trust it will burn bright. May it ease the darkness that surrounds you, and reveal truth and wisdom with its light. Now that you have all these defenses to protect you, I must ask another favor. Give out a pinky. I have enclosed a letter which I dare not open. I can see its writer is pure of heart, and I sense a vital message may be contained within, but I can hardly stand to touch the envelope, much less open it. There is too much lightning on it for me to bear. But perhaps you, who live each day washed in lightning's current, can handle it without injury. Will you do this for me, though I have already asked you to risk so much for one you hardly know? Honey, I don't know you. Bless Grace you, Montgomery. My ghosties, where is the twine? Oh well. Any hustle? The fact that I managed to lose things does not surprise me. Oh dear. So so let's start with the Isabella's diary. I'm a little bit concerned about this part and the fact that she's starting to cross out the birdie's eyes. And this, I mean, I suppose Grace would be more concerned about this. Personally, I'm not that much, but I'm more concerned about her crossing out those eyes. All the eyes. Alright, so let's start with what I think is the first page. I'm so happy Kyla's summer vacation has finally started. She says we can go swimming every day if we like. I wonder what I should wear to go swimming. I'll have to ask Kayla. And best of all, now that she knows the way to my hidden clearing in the woods, we can meet there. Whenever I can get away to see her, I hope... Oh, wouldn't you know it? It's the flag things. Won't mind me sharing it with her. It's a special place, and I want her to know how important she is to me. It stuns me how much I've come to rely on her in just a few short months. She has earned a place in my heart, and I'm so grateful she is the one I get to share this adventure with. Yesterday she gave me a copy of her favorite book, and I stayed up all night reading. I was in tears by sunrise. I felt so deeply for Emily. How dreadful to watch Gwen enjoying her life to the fullest while she was stuck in the house, growing weaker by the day. Sometimes I know how she feels. In your neck of the woods. Well, this bird still has its eyes. Anyway, there are days when life at home with Granny feels so confining. I almost want to... Oh, she crossed out, but that's scream. Tear my skin off. I don't remember feeling so unhappy in the old days, but I am now. When I go for days without leaving the house, I grow restless and irritable. So unlike herself. She crossed out herself. Myself. I hardly recognize myself in those moments. It almost feels as if there are two of me. The snappish, ill-tempered girl who handwriting who bridles more and more at her constraints, and the happy naive girl who never even knew what freedom might mean. Sometimes I can see both of them at once. She crossed something out. Memories more so of one another. Other times it feels like these two girls are drifting further and further apart, and I can't see what is left in this space between them. Am I making room for someone new I am becoming? Or is some part of me slipping away until I'll be left with nothing? Well, the moon was a big white hole in the sky. Okay, well, girly is not alone. So we have, it might be like this, it might be like this, or this. Like, which side formed up gray stairs, that would have been helpful, but we do have this in Isabella's diary. So I'm guessing is this side up. I'm guessing here. Let's see. Here is Grace's letter. There is the story. Ooh. Journey to the Mountaintop. Pages 23 and 24. Oh, let's read that one too as well. Long ago, all the creatures of the earth knew their true names and could speak to one another in a single spirit tongue. Birdies! There's so many birdies. Animals and people lived together in harmony and could all perform strong magic. But in time, a great darkness came upon the land, and everything it touched was hollowed out by cold, gleaming fire and made a servant to the dark. It was decided that, to protect the world's magic, the true name of every living thing should be written down and hidden away, so the darkness could not learn them and take control. Afterwards, animals and people could no longer understand each other, and only those who knew the spirit tongue could do magic anymore. Soon the old ways were forgotten, and humans and animals fell to killing one another. One of the young creatures of the forest had heard stories of the time before the true names were hidden away. Her grandmother had told her of the enchantments of old, and she longed to have her magic back again. If only I could remember what my true name is, she said. She had heard that the true names were hidden in an ancient oak tree at the top of a great mountain, so she set off to discover her true name and regain the power that had been taken from her. As the intrepid creature started to climb the mountain, she met a bird with a pale beak sitting on a tree branch. "Do you know the way to the old oak tree where the true names are kept?" she said. But the bird with the pale beak could not understand her question, and the reply came out as chirps and warbles she could not understand. The curious creature pressed on, wandering further and further up the mountain. She had begun to grow weary, and wondered when she would reach the end of her journey. Seeing a bushy-tailed animal digging in the earth nearby, she stopped and asked, "Can you tell me how much further the summit of the mountain is?" But the bushy-tailed animal did not know what she said and could only answer in chitter-chatter that made no sense to the poor creature at all. The young creature considered turning back. "Perhaps I don't deserve to know my true name," she said. But she thought of how much better the animals' lives would be if they could all speak to one another again. "I must ask for all our names, not just my own," she decided, "so that we will be in harmony again." And so she pressed onwards up the mountain. Finally, she felt sure she was near the top of the mountain. When a dark bird passed by overhead, she asked, "Am I near the old oak tree where the true names are kept?" The dark bird, who was very clever, could see she was distressed even if he could not understand her words. Knowing she would only hear his voice as a harsh squawk, he beckoned her to follow him, and led her to the place where the old oak tree grew. There the creature knelt down and begged the old tree to return all the animals' true names. The tree leaves began to quiver, and it awoke from its long dreaming. "I'm sorry, my child," said the tree. "I cannot return all of the true names. I will show you what would happen if the darkness flourished, so you will understand why the risk is so great. It's too great." And so the tree shifted its leaves, and in the shadows the curious creature could see a dreadful sight. All the animals of the forest still lived, but the awakened bodies could only do the bidding of the dark, while their spirits slowly began to wither and fade away. The creature bowed her head and cried, "Please forgive me. I would never wish this terrible fate upon my fellow creatures. I take back my request." The tree said, "I know your request was well meant. It was generous of you to ask on behalf of all the animals, and not just for yourself. In return for your kindness, I will whisper your true name for you alone to hear, but you must promise to guard it carefully and use it well." She promised, and the tree spoke her true name, and when the creature knew it, she wept, because she was complete again. From that day on, she could understand what all the other animals were saying, and as she was the only creature in the forest who could do magic, other animals and even people came from far and wide to ask for her counsel and aid, and everyone considered her the kindest of all creatures. Well, I like this type of thing. It's like parallels. I love them. So let's check out our dear Doctor's notes, who is apparently possessed. Well, according to Grace, is possessed by something, but I am so inclined to do not trust everything that I'm being told. Like, I am extremely distrustful of everyone. Alright, from the desk of Dr. Harold G. Oliver, MD, Cooper's Rock, Double Wee Wee. Wee Wee. Well, that's a lot bigger lettering than before. I woke up this morning with wood pulp beneath my fingernails and my hands were all bloodied. I don't know how that happened. I must have been sleepwalking again. The unique stress associated with treating Isabella has seemed to intensify these episodes. I must take care not to leave my door unlocked. I don't want to go out again and really hurt myself. That is not to say that I will stop treating Isabella. She is in desperate need of care. I can't put my finger on it, but something tells me that I shouldn't leave her side. She is a very special girl. My crew and I, back in the Navy, used to remind each other that a lifeboat's no good if it's not tied against the ship. One hard copy of this report printed for Grace's records. I want to hurt myself. No. I need the life of Grace? I don't want to go out again and really hurt myself. I need the life of Grace? Why? I'm finally managed to read some of the backwards letters. I need the life of Grace. Oh, those were in the red. I need the life of Grace and I want to hurt myself are both in red. Okay, so he wants to hurt himself and he needs the life of Grace. Great! No wonder Grace is sending us these things. Couldn't write out the other ones, but this. So is this the shadow is the thing? I don't know how to do this. Where's the twine? Where did I put that twine? Dear Lord, the fact that I just keep losing things. Berries. Look how pretty that is. That is so pretty. Dear Mrs. Montgomery, I don't know if Isabella has ever told you about me. I hope she did, but just in case she didn't, my name is Kyla Rauch. I guess if you do know who I am, there's a good chance you don't like me. But all that matters is that I'm someone who loves your granddaughter very much. Oh. I tried to reach you a bunch of times since Isabella disappeared, but I've never been able to find your house. I even tried to follow Dr. Haruko into the woods last night because I know he was Isabella's doctor, and I thought maybe he was coming to see you, but I got lost again. I guess you don't want me to find you, since your mailbox down on the state road is the closest I've been able to get. Isabella told me you didn't approve of her going into town and using technology and everything. She told me about lightning and how dangerous you thought it could be. I guess you were right. Isabella was teaching me all about practicing magic and your hex book and everything. Please don't be mad. She was a really great teacher, and she said it was because you were a good teacher to her. But the truth is, I didn't have the chance to learn that much. I need to talk to someone who's an expert, which means I need to talk to you. I'm leaving this letter to you because I think Isabella has been trying to communicate with me. There's nobody else I can tell this to. If I told my mom that my missing best friend was talking to me through coded messages on our blog, I'm pretty sure she'd make me get my head examined. But you understand about lightning and visiting and body without soul. So I just have to trust that you'll believe me when I say that I know it's really her. I don't even really get how something like this could happen, but I know it's true. Isabella needs help, and you are the only person in the world, probably, who has any idea what to do. I miss her so much, and I'm sure you miss her even more. But most of all, I'm scared for her. I don't know what's going to happen if you and I can't set her free. Please tell me how to help her. Sincerely, Kayla. P.S. Sorry, you probably don't know what a blog is. It's basically a journal we kept together on the internet. So I can understand why Grace would want to touch this if lightning is a thing that she's sensitive to, since, well, first off, this has been the most easiest for me to read because this is printed. I'll admit I have no idea what a shadow wizard does because I don't have the twine. I lost it. I don't think this has ever been something that we've played with. Like, I can see that there are like cuts in these. So I suppose you do something with it. Oh wait, these are all characters from the story. This is a mountain. This is the bird with the pale beak. Okay, this is the animal with the bushy tail. This is a dark bird that knew that he could only answer in a squawk. And here's a tree. I don't know. I don't know how these things work. This isn't something I'm familiar with. Because then it would need something to stand on, right? I don't know. But the cuts correspond with the thingy, so I have to say though, the bushy-tailed animal looks a little creepy with a yellow eye. Like this? I don't know. But at least that corresponds with the story, which, as a short story, I really do quite like. I'm a little sad that Grace didn't read Kyla's letter, because I feel like that's something she kinda should maybe have done. And I'm bummed that I managed to think there were like 3 little pearls, and if so, I've lost one and the twine. So what I'm gonna need to do is actually go over those flags, and I have to decide for another one. I'm not the best at it. Like, I just figured out, I haven't even fully figured out this alphabet. Now I am seriously intrigued with the storyline. Like, I already was, so we are at number 3 out of 5. I kind of want to continue right away, so stay tuned for part number 4, when hopefully we have a little bit more answers. Maybe I will figure out where I put the twine. Until then, take care. Bless. Found the last one. It was under my bum.